Welcome, friends, to the Gaijin Animation Appreciation Hour with your hosts, Sig Bisley and Colt Mauser. Before we get started, please be sure to like this video and subscribe for more content just like this. Now, let the animation appreciation commence.
So you want to bitch about Velma for an hour, or
No.
you want to do something actually productive?
No. That's such obvious trash. You're an idiot if you thought otherwise.
I don't know. It's just, it did not subvert expectations at all. It's just kind of funny
No.
that people freaked out about it anyway.
But I guess the angle is it's worse than people even thought, but yeah, whatever. If you want that kind of thing done right, watch the goddamn Venture Brothers.
It's true. Very true. So anyway, just ignore it, because that's how these things go away. Ignore it.
Yeah, you give it more interest. Yeah, but it's, I mean, isn't that the game? Isn't that the grift game?
Remember, kids, hate clicks are clicks.
Yep. Like, you know, you get it more attention, it gets a second season, then you can make more videos about it later.
Oh, yeah, God. All your favorite YouTubers, that's their job.
Yep.
Basically.
Which, hey, fair enough. That's what they do. But I stopped listening to most of them because I get it. Or at least their videos about that kind of stuff. Like, I'm done.
Yeah, that's pretty much all their videos.
Yeah,
anyway, on to our video. So,
Which we watched by a lot less people because no hate clicks.
well, whatever. That's fine.
Anyway.
I'm just recording me rambling for an hour anyway. So, episodes of the week.
Yep.
Episode 2 of everything, I think.
Yeah.
We watched a random TETSUJIN movie. If any of you remember that TETSUJIN series for like 2008-ish, I think.
2004. It was earlier than I thought.
It's older than I thought. I'm
Yeah.
older than I thought.
Regardless, it was another, I guess it was based on a manga, but regardless, it's basically another remake of TETSUJIN 28, otherwise known as Gigantor in the West.
Yeah. But anyway, I watched the series way back when, and it didn't really have an ending, kind of.
Thanks, Imagawa.
But then he made this movie, which I guess
It's kind of an ending. It's kind of a mess.
It's a
We'll talk about
kind
it.
of a disaster. Anyway, and then 3.33.
Yep.
Where everything pops off.
You cannot redo. Where everything becomes Trigger.
Yeah. And I don't know, Shinji comes back from space jail and just gets shit on for an entire episode.
Space jail. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
It's the first, like, I didn't think I could ever feel bad for Shinji because he was so annoying in the series, but man, they really give
He's
it
so much
to him.
less annoying, and he has so much more of a right to be an asshole.
Yeah, I would be way more of an asshole, actually. I would have smashed their stuff good.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we'll talk about it, especially since it's so different from the series. I read the dumbest dumb take today where someone said, like, of course, it's just, internet stupidity. Or, 3.33, like, it offers nothing new or interesting compared to, like, the original.
the whole fucking thing is new and interesting.
People are really fucking dumb.
They built a ship with a fucking Ava at its core. I don't remember that from the original
Really
show.
dumb. Anyway.
Like, they didn't have a ship. Like, the Kaoru thing was completely different.
Yep.
In good ways and bad ways.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll get to it later. Anyway, right now, as usual, da news.
The news. All right. So the first bit of news. A lot of people are raging about this a bit, which, you should have seen this coming. So Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, 4, 8, whatever the hell
Part
it's up
27.
to, is coming out, but it's coming out in 2 parts.
Oh, man. I've never seen them just fucking, like, squeeze,
They are just milking it.
Yeah, squeeze a nickel out of a fucking story like this one.
So the first part will start on March 4th. The second part, who the hell knows?
Now that I know how it ends, I really don't care anymore.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I'll watch it anyway.
I'll marathon
full disclosure, I will watch it anyway, but
Yeah, I'll marathon my way up through
now
it.
that I know how it ends, I could care fucking less.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what the anime does.
We'll see. You never know. Sometimes not exactly the same. So anyway, for all you people who are looking forward to Attack on Titan, which it is a good show, even despite some of its foibles, you're going to get some more, but it's going to take a while, and they're really going to spread this out.
Oh, my God.
They're as bad as GW with the friggin' horse heresy.
Insufferable.
It'd just be a few books, man. 50-plus books later.
And they're all pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Some better than others, but the zingers are really good.
Yeah, of course.
Top tier.
Right. So moving on. So Crunchyroll, and by Crunchyroll I mean it's really Right Stuff. It's all going to be weird because Crunchyroll Right Stuff, but Crunchyroll is releasing a limited edition Blu-ray box for Cowboy Bebop's 25th anniversary. No, it will not have the live-action Netflix garbage on it.
I'll probably buy that.
It looks like it will not have the movie, so you have to get the movie otherwise. I remember the licensing is different between the movie and
Or
the
I
series.
can just ignore the movie.
You can. I like the movie. The movie's pretty good. It's not phenomenal, but it's pretty good. And it takes place before the end of the show, so you kind of squeeze it in.
Yeah, that's true.
And that is where you have the awesome scene where he's like wearing the headphones in the freaking bodega or whatever.
Ah, yeah, you're right. Fair enough.
So
They'll probably do a special edition for the movie like 6 months from now. You know what I mean?
yeah, it might be one out already. I haven't checked. But
They want more money.
regardless, 25th anniversary box set. There's a regular edition, limited edition. Limited edition is kind of cool. It's got like different postcards for the different characters that you can like swap out to be the cover,
Yeah.
which is pretty neat.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Just a regular Blu-ray. I don't know if it's going to be extra cleaned up. It does have some new extras, a 25-year retrospective, and then a bunch of other extras that were on previous releases. So, yeah, go check that out. It is going to be out, looks like April 4th. So, not too long to wait either. All right, moving on here. Evangelion news. So, apparently they are doing a 3.0 plus 1.11. So there will be a slightly different edition that will come out once they release it on Blu-ray.
Why?
They did that for everyone. All of them always did that. Because that's why that's 1.11 and not 1.01. And yeah,
Whatever.
they've been doing that.
I'm finally satisfied, so I don't care.
Oh, it won't. None of them ever had anything that different. It's
yeah.
like, you know, oh, this was slightly reanimated and this is a different scene. Like, it's nothing.
I don't care.
Anyway, as part of that, you're also getting a short, apparently a prologue to 3.0. Now,
That's kind of cool.
I think it's actually a prologue, not to 3.0 plus 1.0. It's a prologue to actually 3.0, which makes sense because that's where you had the 14 years.
Yeah.
So it fills in some of that gap, apparently based on a manga they did about that.
Oh, yeah, because there's like, you could do probably a whole series about that, right?
Yeah, apparently there's enough. I think Anno has said that. Like, they have enough material for that time period in there that if you wanted to, you could do a whole other movie to cover that gap.
I bet that's why they were going to do 5.
Probably.
Remember they were going to do 5, and it's like, Anno's too lazy. We're only going to let him do 4.
Honestly, I don't know that I would. I want it as a. I don't mind it. Let me say, I don't necessarily want it. I don't really care, but I wouldn't mind it as an extra movie that comes out after the fact.
Yeah.
I would have hated it as a actual in between movie that's very unnecessary. Like, there's no Shinji. Like,
Shinji's in space jail. We're all just being assholes.
It kind of messes with the narrative, right? Like, the narrative works because they do it with the first person view and we'll talk about that later in 3.33.
Yeah, you're right. It would.
Because
it's way better.
You're just as lost as Shinji.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that like makes it has way more impact because you're like, what the fuck is going on? Because
this is wild.
Yeah, like this wild shit. Like, why is Shinji in space jail?
Yeah, so it's interesting.
Why does Unit 1 lasering things?
Yeah, but it's interesting. So you get this little prequel. Apparently it will be on the Blu-ray release, or at least the speculation it'll definitely be on the Blu-ray release for 3.0 plus 1.11.
Are they going to give me a goddamn box set at any point?
I would hope so.
I'm a box
it's
set
Evangelion.
man.
You'll get 15 more releases in the next 10 years.
Thank God.
But it does look like we're finally going to get the last one on Blu-ray. So.
Yeah, I just want like once the last one's out in Blu-ray, I want a Blu-ray box set and call it a day with all extraneous garbage that it would come with.
I mean, they just did a collector's edition of the television show and the Death and Rebirth and End of Evangelion in 2021.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if once this one comes out, you also get a special edition like box set or something.
I have all that crap on DVD.
I'll definitely pick it up.
And I don't want it again.
Yeah, I really like these movies, so I'll definitely pick it up. Anyway, there's some stills out for that short. You can go check it out.
I want to see it now.
Yeah, maybe someday we'll get that extra movie. All right, so Pluto TV Canada, so not the U.S. Pluto TV, unfortunately. They apparently are going to have an entire Lupin the Third channel.
What? Oh yeah, you could probably do that. There's so fucking much of it.
Showing tons of episodes of Lupin, so that's cool.
Pluto TV is pretty boss for just random background garbage. like stupid old 80s shows.
Yeah.
Like 80s commercials.
So it looks like you'll get all of part 1 and 22 episodes of part 2, which there's 155 episodes of part 2.
Yes.
Including Miyazaki episodes in part 2.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh. I mean, this is just an interesting bit of news because, I mean, you can stream all the parts at a bunch of different sites.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Crunchyroll has all of them now, but I know at different points, like High Dive has had it, and like Retro Crush has had some of it.
Yeah. It's like, I like it Retro Crush style where you could just throw it on as background crap.
Yes.
Yeah, they just play random episodes.
Yeah, it's hard to just think you'll sit down and watch all 155 episodes of part 2, even though they're very good.
They don't really need to be in order that much because they're all like wacky, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's
mostly one-offs.
There's some continuity, but yeah. Anyway, if you're in Canada, you got Pluto TV. Check it out. You get some access there to some sweet Lupin content, and I suppose Canada can do something right. Not many things, but one thing.
Every once in a while.
The
blind squirrel, the nut, the whole thing.
All right, you want to talk about everybody's favorite guy with an armband from World War II?
You know that guy.
Rudolf von Stroheim. Yeah, maybe he was. Oh, Jesus Christ! How can I forget the name of the Wehrmacht? Or I can't remember what the damn ground forces were, but
who knows?
Wehrmacht was Air Force. Whatever. Maybe he wasn't an armband guy, but regardless, Rudolf von Stroheim from JoJo's Part 2. Pretty based in JoJo's Part 2, actually. So he's coming as a downloadable character to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Was it Battle Royale R? No, All-Star Battle R. Sorry.
La-di-da.
This is getting a re-release and I guess an upgrade for, or just did, I should say, September 1st on, PS5, Xbox Series X, Switch. It's all over the place, right?
All of them.
It's a game that originally came out in 2013, but now they have, they've been adding characters. They're up to like 50 characters, plus they're still doing downloadable ones like von Stroheim. It even has Bao in it.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Which is kind of awesome.
Man,
I'm sorry. Ikuru Hashizawa.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah, it makes me more interested in it now, doesn't it? It's just a fighting game, but yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, I mean, they're really working that roster. And it's got stuff from like all throughout the manga. It's got characters from every part of JoJo's. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, go check that shit out. Pretty cool. And like I said, it's even on the Switch. It's on like every system. All right. So I'm going to be a little sad about this only because these are models and not action figures, so it's a little more inaccessible, but
yeah.
Good Smiles Motoroid and the Gatai. I've never really heard of that, but Motoroid I've seen.
Yeah.
They just did a Mecha Day. They are releasing so many things and so many obscure things. It's crazy. So let me go down this list a little bit. So these will be coming out soon-ish. TM. We'll see. I assume over the course of the next couple of years. So you got the Nervosh Type 0, Eureka 7.
Yeah, wacky.
You got Galvion.
Oh, damn.
You get the Garland from Megazone 23. The Orgus from Super Dimension Century Orgus.
That's pretty based.
The Hyper Granzort.
Oh, damn.
Granzort. Lord of Lords Reunite. I don't know anything about this, but you get 4 different things from that. Knights of Ramune and 40.
Yep.
King Squasher and Queen Cinnamon. Knights in Magic. You get a couple from that. You got Ixer Robo from Fight Ixer 1.
Oh, hell yes.
You get the Van Dread. Well, Van Dread Dita.
Oh, man, that's pretty awesome.
You have the Type 97 TFV EX Crabman High Leg from Bat Labor.
Yes.
There's a bunch of Pat Labor stuff already out, so they're like, dredging up.
Oh, hell yeah.
You got RoboCop 3 RoboCop. Boo.
There's only one RoboCop.
You got Hyper Red Jack armor from Kiku Kisatsu Metal Jack. Tetsujin 28 FX and Black Ox from Tetsujin 28 Go FX. Megaton Musashi from Megaton Musashi. The Line Barrel's Iron.
Oh, man.
Shingetter Dragon.
They're dredging some shit.
Destiny of the Shrine Maiden. The Rosaphon.
Oh, man. They barely made any good
I know.
Rosaphon models.
There was one model. I think there was a figure, too. I should have bought it. I never did because I'm an idiot. There's the Shikon from Gun Parade March. Remember Gun Parade March?
Hell yeah.
Al Noah Zero, the KG6 Sleipnir.
Nice.
The Demon Bane from Demon Bane.
Classic.
Full Metal Demon Muramasa. You got Voltron, because of course you got Voltron.
Because of course.
Thunderbirds 2086, the Techno Boiger.
Oh, man.
Dygard.
Oh, hell yeah.
From Dygard.
God, Dygard's so cool.
You get something from Legend of Heroes Trail of Cold Steel.
If you all haven't seen Dygard, go out and watch it.
You got the Fafnir Einherjar model. You got the Black Serena from Nadesco Prince of Darkness.
Hell yeah.
From Gun Sword, you get the Eldora 5.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which, like I said, there's stuff already out, so I'm pretty sure they've done all the main suits.
Yeah, probably.
From Gridman.
Yeah, it seems like they're really digging.
You get King Gridman and Full Power Gridman.
Nice.
You got Brave Fighter of Legend Dogarn. You get the, what you would expect. And all the stuff from Mike Kane. Mike Kaiser,
damn.
Mike Gunner, Mike Kane Perfect Mode. All that shit. So
That's a lot of crazy shit.
That's a lot of crazy stuff. So really cool to see. Again, these are, they're models. From what I've heard, the quality is not, not quite Bandai quality, but close.
The Bandai ones are like ridiculous though, so as long as they're close, like I'm fine.
Yeah. So,
because I mean, the Bandai ones like build themselves.
if any of these sound interesting to you, be on the lookout, or go Google it up and see what they got available. Like I said, they already have stuff from a lot of these series, and there are some more obscure series. So, you might find something already out there that you want to get.
Nice.
And no, Good Smile did not pay me for this ad read. All right. Moving on. Time for some spicy news, baby.
So spicy.
So, Jolene Kujo, the JoJo from Stone Ocean, or Stone Free, whatever, which is a part 8, I believe.
Yeah.
It's one of the later ones. That might be part 6. I don't know.
I thought it was part 8.
Is it part 8? There you go. I don't know. It's JoJo's. So apparently, they have commissioned from Bradalus, New York, which is a lingerie, an American lingerie company.
Ooh la
but
la.
this is going to be sold in Japan. A lingerie set that is based on her outfit.
That's hilarious.
So you know how we like to talk about wacky, tie-ins and wacky merchandising? This is a pretty wacky merchandising.
Makes it like an easy cosplay, I guess.
And if you're into JoJo's, well, you'd have to modify it to get cosplay out of it, because it's a lot more revealing than the actual outfit.
I don't know, man.
Because it is lingerie.
They get pretty wild at some of those conventions.
They do.
Bitches
Anyway,
ain't got no shame.
this is going on sale. Orders are open until January 31st. It's Japan only. I don't know if you can order in the U.S. You might have to use an intermediary. If you're really into JoJo's, you might have a 4-hour stiffy that you have to go get looked at now.
Get taken down.
For the clothes you're going to buy for your love doll, obviously.
You don't have a girlfriend. Get out of here.
Anyway, this is available now, so go check that out for interest. If you're a man of action, if you're a man of taste, yeah, you'll go check this out. Jolene Kujo lingerie. All right, so we are here with the last bit of news, and this is the least surprising bit of news, I think. So the VTuber, which is AI based, Neurosama, has been banned from Twitch for 2 weeks for denying that thing that happened in World War II to all the Jews.
One of those.
AI seems to do that every time it gets access to the internet, which maybe it's just feeding him 4chan. I don't know what happens there. But, I find it interesting that it banned an AI for that, like Twitch. What the hell? There's still hot tub streams. Like, does this make any sense? Could you just tell them, like, hey, could you make your AI not do that?
Yeah, like.
But it's Twitch, so they don't make any sense. So anyway,
can you tell an AI to lay off the?
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can tell an AI to do all sorts of stuff. It's like the Chat GPT where you ask it to make arguments for certain things, and it won't, because it says, "Well, politically, I can't do this." Or
wow, what a bitch!
Oh, yeah.
It'll write you a thesis though.
Oh yeah, other stuff it will do, but it won't do that. You can program whatever politics you want into it, basically.
Oh man, you got to program it for evil immediately.
That's where all those roads lead. So anyway, if anybody's a big fan of Neurosama and you're looking for, you've been banned 2 weeks, being too spicy on Twitch, acting like it's Pole. Anyway, on that note, that is the news.
Oh, wait, I got one more thing.
Do you? Wow.
There is I just caught it this morning. I don't know if it just came out today, but it probably did. There's a trailer out for Junji Ito Maniac, that series they're doing.
Oh, yeah. I did see that when I was going through compiling
it's
news.
really good, man. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. I mean, we mentioned it often enough. I didn't mention it, but good to mention it again because it's actually coming out soon.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it might be...
Oh, yes. Today or yesterday? It's the 19th.
Is when it's out.
I have no idea what the date is today.
Today is the
19th.
So it might be out as we speak. We'll check it out after we finish recording.
We'll pop on it next week. Yeah.
Yeah, but
100%. I can't wait for
definitely all about that. Good to remind people because, like I said, we mentioned it a couple times. But yeah, Junji Ito's Maniac.
So by the time this comes out, it has been out for at least a day.
Assuming you were corrected, it comes out on the 19th.
I'm 99.999% sure.
Well, that's awesome because I've been looking forward to that one. So y'all check that one out. And then that's the news.
Boom. News finished. Okay, episode 2 of stuff. Giant Beasts of Ars. This is turning out to be exactly the thing I like. It's like they did
sweaty, manly men.
Fuck yes. They did they did the classic hero's journey. Like they basically like the end of last episode, Jiro and Kumi. Like Jiro's the dude and Jiro's the paladin and Kumi is the cleric.
Yeah, that turns into a weapon.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I won't get into it, but like when they form the contract, he like basically splits open. Jiro's like sucks inside. It doesn't do that every time. That's just like the first time to make it extra weird. Anyway, so they form the contract. They fuck up the giant beast that was like smashing the town.
Yep.
And then
doing their job.
And then he's just like, nah, I'm out. And he just like fucks off because he's like, he's not into it. He misses his special lady from back in the day.
Sure.
But then she gets her and Maya, that little cat girl that's like been hanging out with her. Because you got to have a random
You got to have cat girls.
Fucking everything.
Is this anime? Is this not anime?
And she has a random cat that lives on her head. So she's like double cat.
Whoa.
Goodness.
Whoa. So it's like Pimp My Ride, but with a cat girl?
Yeah, are you like cat? Sorry, your cat girl.
Yeah, that's right.
Cat on your cat girl.
Damn straight.
Anyway.
Listen, that's a whole lot of pussy.
Hey-oh.
Whoa.
Anyway. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So they get captured like immediately after he like leaves. And then they're that weird dude, the main bad guy, I guess.
Sure.
I don't even remember his name. Not important. He's like the only main villain, so you know who it is. But anyway,
Cobra Commander.
So before he even gets there, like the cat girl's super smart and she steals Jiro's like magic spear thing.
Yep.
It like shrinks into a knife so you can like carry it around, but then when you go to do business, it like turns into a mega spear.
It's useful.
Yeah, very useful.
It's very
but he has the power.
Goku's staff.
He has the power to summon it. Like no matter where he is, he could just be like, "Whoa!" and it comes to him. So she just like hangs onto it and it like sucks her like up to the ceiling and it can't get out, which is kind of comical. But then he's like, "Fuck it, I need to go get that thing." So he goes back and saves them. Hero's journey, and now like they're traveling together.
Okay.
Fucking up beasts.
So standard second episode where there's some complications.
Yeah, but it's like standard in every single way I like.
Yeah.
And the beast designs are awesome. Like one of the beasts, like it had a neck but no head. Yep. And when it leaned over, there was like this weird, like spirally, like thing in its head. It was bizarre. But then like it goes into like final form and like blasts a head out of there and like completely changes. Yep. I don't know. There's really good designs. I love the characters so far. It's just fun. It's a good standard shonen adventure show. And it's set on like another planet with wacky shit.
Yeah.
So it's like
I appreciate that. It's
sci-fi fantasy, which like nobody
spoiler alert
does anymore.
A little Last Exile-ish, a little Scrap Princess.
Yeah, Scrap Prin.
Love me some Scrap Prin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We gotta actually finish that one of these days because we've watched all of it at least once, but like we kept watching like half of it and never.
I've watched it a couple times. We always try to get Sean into it, but then he's never around enough to like completely finish.
Couldn't even finish the damn Ava movies.
He can't finish shit. Anyway, that's what happens when you're broke and you have to like work 12-hour days. Anyway, moving on. Revenger. So last week, Raizo cuts that guy in half.
Yeah,
Raizo's the
pretty metal.
Raizo's the main character guy. And then Ewan's the pretty boy with the like white hair and the crazy like
classic archetype.
It's not a Jesus tattoo. It's like Mary, I think.
Oh, does he have the Virgin Mary
on his back? Anyway,
does he have Mary on the half shell on his back?
Yeah, he has Mary on the half shell on his back, basically. Anyway,
Bathtub Virgin Mary.
So basically, it turns out that like Ewan and Teppa is like the doctor guy. I guess he's like a former pirate or something, but he like is a doctor, and he basically uses being a doctor to like pick up these revenge gigs. And those people who are dying will be like, I'll give you this gold if you fucking get revenge for the asshole that fucked me over like 20 years ago when I was in high school or something. Anyway, so
sounds like a good scam.
They're just hanging out, and like Ewan tries to like recruit Ryzen, or was it Ryzen? Yeah, Ryzo. Sorry, he tries to recruit him. He's like, I don't know. It's like weird to kill people for money. You know, it's a little bit of a
kind of assassin.
It's a little bit of a moral quandary, I guess. But he did just kill like his father-in-law and all his like homies for no reason. So he's just kind of down in the dumps. Anyway. So the Teppa and the doctor gets a job from this chick because she basically there's some guy scamming women. Like he marries them and then immediately forces them into prostitution. So she was like a prostitute forever and died of, I don't know, fucking super herpes or something. Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's pretty awful. So then they convince, they use her basically to be like, hey, Ryzo, like, you know, this bitch deserves revenge. She's going to die. She like basically sold all her belongings just to get this like gold coin thing, so you know we could finish the job, and that's the bulk of the episode. I mean, Ryzo's got to deal with because his fiance killed herself. Yeah, because he had just killed her whole family basically, more or less, because I think her mom was already dead. So he has to deal with that and kind of come to terms with the whole thing. And for some reason, it gets wacky, too, because it's very reality-based, time period correct. And then all of a sudden, like, Teppan's got this ridiculous, like, fold-out bow that, like, he pulls back, and he, like, you have to be, like, hulking out to pull it back.
Talk to me when someone pulls out the Glock like it's freaking Sekiro. Like, wait a minute, old man.
And then he gives Ryzo these, like, boots with, like, I don't know. They've just got, like, metal cleats on them. I don't know why they make you jump real far. They don't really explain it.
Springs, man. Magic.
But, yeah, and he's, like, sliding around on it, making sparks and shit. It just looks cool. He, like, jumps across, like, a river or whatever to, like, cut this guy in half.
Metal. All right, what else?
It's kind of creepy, though, because they have, like, there's, like, a younger girl with them. It's, like... It's hard to tell with anime. She's probably like 14 or something.
No, she's at least 900 years old. Come on.
Could be 12.
Have you ever watched an anime before?
Could be 12. Could be 14. Could be like 1,200 years old.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's get real.
But like, because there's
seen Gate.
Yeah, right. There's two guys. Like, there's a younger guy that scams the chicks, but then there's like a mob guy that's like kind of pulling the strings. So they got to kill both of them.
Yep.
And they just like use that girl to like lure him in. Like prostitution style, and then kill him. A little creepy, though.
A little bait, yeah.
Anyway, I guess that just makes him deserve it harder. Anyway, good episode, though. I'm sold so far.
Okay.
And my boy...
Giant Beasts of Ars and Revenger, both good so far.
Both very good so far. My boy, Handyman Saito.
Yep.
I love the show. It's so great. At the beginning of this episode... like he like kills a Hydra, and then they're all like, gross. And then he's just like, nah, man. He like butchers it and like prepares it, and they all eat it. It's awesome. I just love it. He has like mad skills.
Would you just keep a Hydra on hand so you just keep cutting off heads?
Nah,
leave it alive.
These Hydras die. Like you can actually kill them.
Lame.
It was funny because he's like, oh man, like I could open a restaurant, but like I don't want to make the Hydra go extinct. It's like such a weird thing. But this was basically, these are like weird episodes because like they're just like these weird 10-minute chunks of different characters. So there's all these like new characters all the time.
Oh, so it's kind of like Eurocede, sir.
Kind of, yeah. It's very set up kind of the same way. It's like you'll just have this like 5 minutes of like, it was this like random king that had to like destroy like they were having a problem with like a demon king. And like this old man, he's like barely moved, but then he goes out and just absolutely wrecks the Demon King, brings him back. He's like, "Now we're gonna play chess now." It's like so weird.
Sure.
And he enjoys the Demon King's company because like nobody will like hang out with him. So he like makes the Demon King like the head of his like. Oh, there was like, what the hell was it? Oh yeah, his like some of his guards were traitors. So he like kills them and he like makes the Demon King one of his guards. What this has to do with anything, I have no fucking idea.
Maybe it's set up for something later.
And then there was some other like some elf chick and like a cleric. I think she was a cleric. Anyway, she had like an elf chick that has like weird Wolverine claws. Like she's bad at magic, so she has to use Wolverine claws to like slay shit.
Sure.
And then her partner is like she does healing magic. She's human, and she has this weird like fetish for like open wounds or something. So like whenever the other elf chick gets like injured, she loves to like she like licks her wounds and pretends that she's healing them, but she's not. It's super creepy.
That's really creepy.
Yeah, I have no idea what their deal is either. I assume that all this stuff is gonna like all these like characters are gonna eventually like get together at some point.
Yep.
But like so far it doesn't. Like Saito's just doing random stuff. Oh, he gets like totally killed in this episode, and they have to bring him back to life.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
it's quite the turn.
Yeah, because Railza, like the chick with the armor, like can't like they get separated in the dungeon, and it's just him and her, and she gets wrecked by this like stone golem. I think it's a metal golem, stone golem, whatever, and like she can't do anything to it. So then he tries to fight it. He just gets he gets like squashed basically.
Oh, delightful.
Anyway, so that was that episode. Just weird, fun. I don't know. I enjoy it. I like the idea of random skills being useful in the dungeon.
Trigun Stampede.
Oh yeah.
So this episode we got. Well, first, man, I get that people are having a hard time in the Trigun world. Times are tough. But, like, the man that saved your town, I don't care how big his bounty is, you don't go friggin' running him out of town.
They're such awful betrayers.
Because you just want to, like...
They don't even run him out of town. They, like...
Well, they're trying to capture him.
They're trying to capture him.
Because they want the bounty. Like, assholes. Like, did you not read about Sodom and Gomorrah? What's wrong with you?
Shame.
So, awful, like... People are just, and I get like, oh, they're in a bad position, but
they're really not though, because they have a plant and no one else does.
They do,
like,
but they're still a bunch of assholes.
They're kind of rolling actually.
And then the Nebraska gang shows up, which is just two guys, some Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's like a weird Frankenstein monster and an old man
and a Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, basically
Frankenstein. So they're trying to get Vash, and then they go, oh well, screw this, we'll go steal the plant. So they steal the plant, so Vash has to save the town again, even though they just betrayed his ass. And even the Frankenstein, Nebraska, like, saves the plant from getting destroyed.
Yeah, even though it's a
situation, even though they were trying to steal it. So, I don't know. I mean, I get the commentary. These were the kind of things that always... They didn't make me hate Trigun, but they annoyed me about Trigun. It's just like, why is... One, Vash... You got to make an example out of somebody eventually. Maybe not these innocent. Well, they're not innocent, I suppose. These random people, but like, dude, the reason you keep getting chased like this is because of this. And two, everybody's just such an asshole.
It is a planet full of assholes.
It's a planet full of assholes. And again, I get it. This was backs against the wall, but like you said, they got a plant. They're doing a lot better than most people. But no. That bounty is too tempting.
They're hoarding that plant.
And then Millie and Roberto De Niro don't. There's not much going on with them in this episode. Millie has a good moment, but other than that,
they're just like they're kind of they're just observing.
They're kind of the audience. You know what I mean? They're just kind of there, occasionally doing stuff. So
making fun of Vash for being a dumbass.
It's a decent enough episode. Don't get me wrong, and the animation's still great, and it's worth it for that alone. But I'm starting to remember.
Yeah, why wasn't that like hot on original?
Well, not
Trigun?
super hot on Trigun. I know a lot of people love it. I always thought it was all right. I'm not starting to remember why.
There were so many good shows out around the same time that it like
a lot.
You know, like Cowboy Bebop. What the hell's that other one? I don't know.
Outlaw Star.
That's what I was thinking of. Outlaw Star.
Cowboy Bebop. I mean, God, that time they did Trinity Blood. Then they did Blood. Was it Blood Plus came out? I mean, not the Blood Plus was great, but Witch Hunter Robin was out.
There's just late 90s. There's a ton of shit.
Yeah. Late 90s, early 2000s was like that Renaissance period for Adult Swim stuff. Early 2000s, really.
Exactly.
A lot of the anime was made in the late 90s, but aired in the early 2000s.
I'm just saying, if it had come out by itself, I would have been super stoked on it because it was decent. But with all that other stuff around the same time, it's just like, whatever. I mean, shit, it's no Gungrave, son.
No, nor is it Hellsing. But check it out.
I was joking. Gungrave was retarded.
Gungrave's great. It's Beyond the Grave, don't you know?
Yeah, it had all the best bad quotes.
Gungrave is much more of a game than it is an anime.
Call me Beyond the Grave.
Oh my God.
Like, okay, that's not a real name, but whatever you say, buddy.
All right. Any other shows you want to talk about?
No, that's my 4.
Yeah.
Wait, fuck. We watched that one the other night.
We watched that one the other night. We'll talk about it next week because I want to. There's more episodes out.
Oh, okay.
I want to kind of get more of a feel for it. So we watched. What the hell is it? That Snow Ocean one.
Yeah, that was wild.
Kira of the Snow Ocean or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Queen of the Snow Ocean, whatever it is. It's wacky. It's got CG.
The CG isn't terrible, but it's a cool enough.
It's not as good as Trigun, but it's still good.
It's a cool enough idea that I want to watch more.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll catch up. We'll get at it next
we'll
week.
catch up and we'll add it. I mean, we've been watching Urusei Yatsura too, but honestly, Urusei Yatsura just does what it does. Like every episode, I'm just going to tell you, it does what it does.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need to critique it.
There's not much to say. If something interesting happens, we'll bring it back into the fold. But for now, it's just kind of rolling along, doing its comedy thing. And, if you listen to any of our ones for the past 12 weeks or so, you'll get a good feel for that show.
Yeah. You're either going to like it or you're not. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So let's talk about TETSUJIN 28, Morning Moon of Midday.
What a fucking mess.
So this was kind of out of nowhere. We were just trolling around looking for something to watch.
We were literally clicking through shit.
A good secondary. Hey, let's watch something that's like a secondary thing to watch. Usually looking for like an OVA or a movie or something, right? You don't want to get into a whole series or 6 episodes or something or whatever. So came across this and went, okay, well, it's Imagawa, it's TETSUJIN. I know it's related to the series, but what the hell? Let's watch it, right?
I'd seen this series I don't know, 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, I never watched it, but
I remember being mad because it didn't really have a coherent ending. So
that's Imagawa for you.
I mean, they basically the whole beginning of the movie is just what the ending was supposed to be. It's okay. Literally just being narrated. They don't even animate it.
You mean Giant Robo?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, Giant Robo was great, but it's got the same kind of thing going on. So anyway, if you don't know anything about TETSUJIN 28, it's basically, set in the 50s, I believe. It's set right after World War II.
Yeah, I think so.
And
it's super future 50s.
Yeah. And you have, Shotaro. Yeah, Shotaro is a boy detective before, Detective Conan was a thing. And he's got a remote control to pilot TETSUJIN 28. Well, not pilot, I guess, remote control. TETSUJIN 28, which is a really kind of barrel-looking giant robot, right?
Doesn't even control it. He mostly just tells it what to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like It's kind of like Giant Robo, except there's a little bit more controlling going on. But yeah, a lot of it's got a bit of AI going on. It kind of does what it wants sometimes.
Yeah, he mostly yells into his watch, and it occasionally goes berserk.
No watch
and
this time.
Smashes the city.
He had the whole control box. You're thinking of Giant Robo.
God,
where he had the watch, because he had the Navitimer.
They're the same thing.
They're very similar.
No, but I mean, even Shotaro's design is exactly the same as what's-his-face's.
Daisak, yeah.
Daisaku.
They're similar.
I think that's just a school uniform for back then. So
whatever.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's Daisaku.
Anyway. So what the hell is this movie about? So that's TETSUJIN 28. There's, it's just like Giant Robo, TETSUJIN fights secret organizations with other giant robots. Black Ox is a really awesome design, so
yeah, it's cool.
Check Black Ox out. A lot of people like TETSUJIN's design. I always thought it was a little too corny for me, but
it's so round.
Giant Robo is the better version of it for me.
Oh, hell yeah.
The cool Pharaoh head and way beefier.
Pharaoh head always
and
wins.
the angrier face instead of the weird, like, freaking
Yeah,
cone
TETSUJIN
nose.
has that ridiculous, like, Pinocchio nose that just is kind of weird.
Anyway, so this takes place after the series. Everything's wrapped up, except now there's another Shotaro who's older, who can also pilot TETSUJIN.
Oh, yeah, it's this whole convoluted story about...
And, like, the professor who made TETSUJIN, like, this was the original Shotaro, but then he went off to war, but now he's back from the war. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Basically, how they explained it is the professor, like, was getting old and he didn't think he was going to have a kid. So he, like, adopted this kid and, like, made him the pilot of TETSUJIN. But then he ended up having Shotaro later.
It named him Shotaro, just like this guy.
Yeah, and then because that guy disappeared, died in the war.
Yeah, like he was MIA.
Yeah, so he just
whatever. But now he's back.
Disappeared, I guess.
So anyway, this whole movie deals with like the legacy of the professor, where he left behind bombs. So these ridiculous bombs that. Okay, this is not going to make any goddamn sense.
Bombs are super convoluted.
These bombs supposedly will blow up all the buildings but not kill anybody, which doesn't make sense because all the people are going to die when the buildings fall apart, but whatever. Okay, now they're going to die a slow, crushing, suffocating death.
Well, and like they're just going to starve to death because you destroyed their whole like.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But then one of them, when they first tested it, actually did kill people. So somehow they can be made to kill people too, which they're bombs. So of course I don't. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Oh, and instead of like getting rid of them all, he buried them all throughout like Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like everywhere.
It's like Tokyo. Buildings built over them. It's like, what the fuck?
Like intersections. So one of TETSUJIN's jobs is to go get these bombs. And the other Shotaro knows about them. And he wants to like, the plot is it starts off as like, well, TETSUJIN's got to get the bombs to get rid of them, right? So he finds one, he digs it up, and he's destroying the city, but then he like throws it into orbit and it blows up, right? Okay, so get rid of one of the bombs. But then more bombs start going off in town. There's a whole other organization of evil assholes trying to get the same bombs. Then come to find out the plot isn't really to get rid of the bombs. There's a super giant TETSUJIN that's made of bombs.
Oh,
also buried below the city. This plot makes no goddamn sense.
It's a classic Imagawa plot.
It's
where he tries to cram
ridiculous.
Way too much shit in there. And it's like
way too much shit going on.
Madness.
I don't know what the hell's going on. It doesn't make sense. It seems like the most unnecessary addition to TETSUJIN. Like, you already had a full series. This doesn't even seem to tie in very well.
They didn't have a full series. They had 13 episodes.
No,
or 8 episodes?
No, there's 20-something episodes.
Was there a whole full, like, 20-some episodes?
There are. So maybe you never saw the second half of it.
Maybe I didn't. I don't even remember. That was so long ago. I mean,
yeah. Regardless, this doesn't seem to add anything. It doesn't seem to make any goddamn sense. There's an ending that involves the robot having to go, and obviously the other Shotaro having to go, but then TETSUJIN's still around, but TETSUJIN's a goddamn mess. Like, someone's got to fix poor TETSUJIN.
Yeah, he just fucked up.
It's all rusted and messed up.
Well, he has to fight Giant Bomb TETSUJIN.
Yeah, he does have to fight Giant Bomb TETSUJIN, but then Giant Bomb TETSUJIN has to get taken away so he can go explode somewhere else. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. It's dumb. I can't recommend it at all. It's kind of just a mess.
It's kind of random. First of all, you would have had to seen that entire series and given a shit about it. And then,
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, the plot makes no sense. Morning Moon of Midday. Oh, yeah, and then there's the other Shotaro's mother who's still alive, but she's the Morning Moon of Midday, but she's going to assassinate the other Shotaro, but then she's not. It's very convoluted. It's dumb. Don't watch it.
This is what happens when Imagawa plans for another series, but then they only give him movie money.
I don't even think this would have made a good series plot because
no,
it has fundamental issues that you could not fix with more episodes.
Yeah, like it's really dumb.
It's really dumb. It's really bad. I cannot recommend it. I do not recommend it. Please stay away from Morning Moon of Midday.
Yeah.
Watch other TETSUJIN 28 stuff. It's fine. Stay away from Morning Moon of Midday.
Yeah, this movie's
terrible.
Just a fucking disaster.
All right, enough of that. I've already given it more words than it deserves.
Moving on.
Yeah, not everything we watch can be good, right?
It can't all be zingers.
All right, so talking about things that are actually good. Neon Genesis Evangelion 3.33. You can not redo.
He can't.
Except,
or can he?
I don't know. I wouldn't call this a redo. So the last two, they stuck basically to the plot of Evangelion. There's a lot of differences.
Up to the point where it fell apart. So
yeah, up to right before the Kaoru stuff, which I don't think Evangelion fell apart till right after the Kaoru stuff. So this movie,
there was a lot less Kaoru stuff though. You're talking like a couple episodes.
This movie's all the Kaoru stuff except reimagined entirely, and you get a better feel for what Gendo's plot is. It's definitely all fleshed out more.
Well, yeah, because Otto actually knew what Gendo's plot was this time.
Yeah, well, that's because he watched Razafon. So anyway,
the more you watch it, the more it's like, damn.
Yeah, it really is. Not complaining. It's a good plot. I don't mind seeing it.
No, it's like I remember watching Razafon. It's like, oh yeah, this is how Evangelion's supposed to end, and then it's just like, oh, he did that. That's fine.
He did it. Good on you.
I mean, it's not like identical where it cheapens either show. Like they're both.
There's someone
awesome.
out here. They're just like feels us saying this in the force, and they're seething. They're so mad because I remember the seething hatred for Razafon back in the day because it's just a ripoff of Evangelion. Like,
yeah, no, it's Evangelion done correctly. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry everyone.
Well, it ends correctly, right? Like early Eva has its charm. It really does. But anyway.
It's a shame, too, because Razafon is kind of a masterpiece in its own right.
It is.
And, like, people just shit on it for no reason.
It is. I think time has made people appreciate it more, but anyway. So, what happens here? So, when we left off, basically Third Impact had started because Shinji had saved... He had actually gone into the core of an angel to pull Ayanami out of it.
Which is apparently something you're not supposed to do.
And he apparently saved her, right? Because he had her in the tube with him, and had his little Walkman thing. But then, excuse me, then
tight.
Allergies, man, brutal.
It's that fucking cat.
But then, the Kaoru came from space in Eva Unit. Oh, was that Unit 6, I believe?
Yeah, I think so.
There's too many Eva units in this. There's like Unit 8, Unit 13, it just gets wild.
They get wild.
So anyway, Unit 6, and like toss the Lance and Longinus through it, and like, which now they're looking for 2 lances, so I don't know if this really happened. Who knows? I think the end of that movie actually happened, but it's hard to tell because there's the ends of some of those, like the after credit stuff on most of those didn't happen. Whatever. Anyway, you saw a bit of Kaoru. Now, it jumps forward, right? And you're thrown right into the action with basically an orbital exercise or orbital operation, I should say.
Yeah, like in space.
Mari and with Unit 8 and Asuka with a rebuilt Unit 2 are, launching to get basically Shinji out of space prison, right?
Yeah, he's in this giant box that's shaped like a cross. Like inside Unit 1. They just locked his ass up and shot him into space.
Yeah, so I think the inclination was he was literally absorbed into Unit 1 at some point.
Yeah.
Like into the core of Unit 1. Which you find out later that's kind of what happened with his mother in Unit 1.
Yeah.
They did a direct insertion, so rather than having an entry plug that kind of keeps you separated from the core of the Eva, which is very much like an angel's core.
They just jammed her in there.
They just dropped her directly in there, and then she basically dissolved into the core, like her whole consciousness and everything, which is why the Eva is basically his mother, because his mother's in there. But anyway, you find that out a little bit later in the movie. Anyway, they get attacked by an angel when they're coming down, this wild giant angel. It's like railroad tracks almost. It's like tracks in space.
Like silver bands.
It's moving all over the place. And Asuka's about to get smoked when Unit 1 wakes up and just like eye lasers the shit out of the...
Yeah, she's like, Baka Shinji, do something. And then all of a sudden, like, mad at lasers come out of fucking the coffin, just cut the angel to shreds.
Yeah, where the hell, like, how the hell it got that power?
And there's that amazing scene where she just looks at the coffin. It's just like, there's a broken section out, and it's just like Unit 1's face. It's like an angry red eye.
Its eye is open, and then it closes.
Pretty good.
So anyway, they bring Shinji back to Earth. They pull him out of there. They confirm that he's Shinji, right? He's got memory continuity. He looks the same.
DNA test.
He hasn't aged.
Yeah.
So you find out that this is 14 years later, which is wild. And it's cool because, like you said earlier, it's all from his point of view. So you're learning
Yeah, like
as he's
you're
learning,
as
right?
lost as he is at first. So.
Because I mean, this is where it starts to look very Trigger, right? It starts to look kind of Gurren Lagann-ish.
Yeah,
which was still Gainax, but that was like proto Trigger, right?
It wasn't as jarring this time because I expected it.
Yeah, but
like, it was wild the first time.
It's jarring
I saw
the first time, but I think that's intentional, right?
Yeah.
But the style and everything looks very like steampunky future at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Everyone's got crazy goggles and like,
oh yeah, fucking ridiculous Nazi hats.
They got some ridiculous Ava-looking space whale of a ship, and they're charging it using a bunch of like aircraft carriers and other
like nuclear powered shit.
And apparently they needed Unit 1 for the core, so that's why they got Unit 1 back, not because they gave two shits about Shinji apparently, because boy, did they shit on Shinji this whole time.
I don't even think they knew Shinji was in there.
Yeah, I don't. They thought he was absorbed, right? But then he's just literally just in the cockpit. But Rey is not, so it's interesting. But the Walkman is.
Yeah.
So
and for some reason they don't just kill him. No idea why.
Yeah, they don't just kill him. Well, it's because they're not. I don't know. They put the detonation collar.
Yeah,
around
they put the
his neck,
murder collar on him,
which comes up later.
But he has no function.
He does not, because they don't want him in the Ava because they don't want Third Impact started.
Yeah, so he's like not allowed to do anything. They won't tell him anything either.
And that's the problem. They won't tell him anything.
Like, what's his face's sister is his handler, which is funny.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name, but one of his friends
from the last
his little sister, who was a little kid in the original, is like his handler, basically his doctor.
Yeah.
Anyway, Misato's here, Ritsuko's here, but they're older. There's lots of Ritsuko's got that ridiculous like buzz cut going on.
Yeah, there's lots of bad haircuts in the future.
That's terrible. You get a bunch of new crew members. Apparently, nobody really knows what they're doing. You find out, you think this is Nerve, but it's not. You find out this is Willie. This is like the anti-Nerve faction, because everyone's like, hey, Gendo's an asshole. What the hell is he up to? This is bullshit.
Yeah, at some point they figured out Gendo was up to some shit.
So anyway, at some point along the way, Shinji gets rescued out of this situation by Unit 0, which may or may not actually be Unit 0. And
we're piloted by Ayanami, that may or may not be Ayanami.
Yeah, that you find out later is a different Ayanami, which you kind of knew already. There were a bunch of them, but whatever. Because they're all clones of his mother. So anyway, it shows up. It grows a crazy booster pack. Very
they blow its head off and then it just grows a booster pack out of
because
its head.
Apparently it's actually Adam's body and not just an Ava.
There's very fooly cooly of it.
Yes, it has a very fooly cooly looking like backpack that it grows, and then it takes off, right? And it escapes with Shinji, and Misato can't bring herself, like, she's not that evil. She can't bring herself to actually blow Shinji's head off. So anyway, gets brought to Nerve HQ, which is all like a blasted wasteland at this point. It's all
it's like a bombed out fucking bunker
because of the start of Third Impact, which Shinji did last time, didn't even realize. And here you get back to Gendo. Gendo's best friend for life there, whose name I can never friggin' remember. The old dude. And Kaoru, right? So Kaoru's here. You get the impression that Kaoru, obviously, he's not. You've seen him before. And, you know about Ava.
He's not terribly
He's not human. He's not one of the Lilin. They start calling humans Lilin here. Children of Lilith. And it gets revealed that, the children of Lilith evolve and ascend through all these ridiculous rituals and all this impact crap, basically, right? This is all very Kabbalah, Gnostic. That's how it works, right? There's a Demiurge or Yaldabaoth somewhere.
Yeah, right.
So he becomes good friends with Kaoru. Kaoru seems to be pretty genuine. He seems to not have an evil agenda.
No, not at all.
It seems like he actually wants to see the Lilin ascend, and that's what Gendo wants. But then Gendo kind of tricks him. So Gendo creates a Unit 13, an Ava Unit 13, which isn't even supposed to exist, that's double piloted by Kaoru and Shinji. A lot of this is Shinji and Kaoru kind of getting closer. Shinji coming to terms with everything. Shinji learning all the secrets about Rey and about Nerve and what happened.
Oh, yeah. The old dude, they play a game of, Go or Shogi or something.
Shogi, yeah.
And he basically spills the whole thing, and Shinji's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is the worst. My father's the worst. What the hell?
Everybody's the worst.
Seal finally gets... You think they're betrayed, but they're like, no, this is exactly what we wanted to happen. But then, this is the part I don't quite
Seal
get
is
yet.
Zinch.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was me the whole time.
Yeah, they totally are Zinch. So, and you also find that Seal was not human. at all. So Seal was like always like these big like tablets that just looked like they were, and it said audio only mode. You thought it was just like, oh, that's supposed to have a screen to display, and it just never does. They just weren't human the whole time. Who knows? They were like angels or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever Kaworu is, right? Because Kaworu says he's the first angel, but then he's the 13th angel. Who knows how all this works? There's a lot of crazy symbolism going on. Anyway, they go to take... Oh, one thing that happens is Kaworu does take the necklace off Shinji, puts it on himself. He's going to regret that later. Or maybe not, because, yeah, whatever. You know it's going to get used at some point.
Yep.
So Shinji and Kaworu get in Unit 13. They go down into Central Dogma, where what you think is Lilith is down there.
You would assume.
To go basically set off Fourth Impact and do the whole Ascension of Humanity thing, complete the Human Instrumentality Project.
Shut this bitch down.
They get attacked along the way by Marine Unit 8 and Asuka in Unit 2.
Yeah, they find them.
And
well, I mean, they're probably easy to find. Like,
fight breaks out, as you would expect. The Ayanami that isn't really Ayanami is there. Although she's starting to like come around and
with
be
a
less
ridiculous
bad.
scythe.
Yeah, that scythe is awesome. best Ava weapon. And you know, you find out there's some betrayals going on. I won't spoil the whole ending. We'll talk about it next time, I suppose. But,
yeah.
You know, there's some betrayals going on. Gendo is a devious bastard and gets his way.
He's a sneaky fucker.
The next impact almost gets set off and then gets stopped. And doesn't really get stopped, right? Because I'm pretty sure the next one starts with Fourth Impact. So
probably.
They
recover Shinji either way.
You're getting to the point where, and you'll find out in the next one, that basically all these impacts, it's like, I don't know, you need all these rituals so you can eventually open the door and go to the, I don't know, it's like the Demiurge's reality temple, right? Like you need to go to the place where you can remake reality.
Basically.
That's the whole idea. So anyway, that's what happens in this movie. It's a cool damn movie.
Oh, it's so good. I was so happy to rewatch them. They're just so good.
Animation's great. The shift is strange. Yeah, I don't know. Give me some thoughts.
I like this one because it like starts to fix things like hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the first two fix a lot of stuff, but now you're into like actually, because there's so many cool like threads and shit he had going, and he just shit his pants. I mean, you remember, it's like, oh, this cool stuff happens. It's like, what is this
End of
fucking mess?
Evangelion, it's just like, all of a sudden, Fourth Impact is happening. Oh, people turn into fluid. Oh, it's over. Shinji's here with Asuka.
And
the only people.
It's like, what?
What? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and so it's like, it's so nice to see, like, and you know there's another movie coming. So, like, they do all that cool new stuff. And you know they haven't even wrapped it up yet. There's like a whole other movie to wrap up everything.
It's
in a
good
nice,
to see a
neat
man's
bow.
original idea finally fleshed out. I know a lot of people are cynical about this. It's like, oh, they just do it to make more Ava. Oh, whatever. And a lot of those people are the people who really liked the original or liked Death and Rebirth. I think those people are crazy because there's always been a lot to love about Ava, but the ending has never been one of those things.
If you remember Evangelion fandom on the internet, like many moons ago. Basically, it was one of those, you know how like Harry Potter, like every single kid is the kid who lives under the stairs.
Yep.
It's that perfect generic, everybody identifies with it. People pulled so much crazy shit out because it was such a mess. And so like kind of just everywhere that they just, every single person found some weird thing to identify with in that like gobbledygook.
Yep.
And I think that's why it was really popular. You kind of just stick anything
in
there, like, oh, he really means this. Like these characters are gay. These characters are this. It's like,
fed that.
Oh, okay.
It fed that like intellectual, pseudo-intellectual urge.
Yes, exactly.
To be like, oh, this is what it's really like. When your English teacher's like, this is about this. Like, I'm pretty sure you can take that at face value. Like, stop reading into it.
Yeah, exactly.
This, I mean, there was always something to read into, but it was kind of just a mess. Now with the new ones, I think it's a lot tighter. It's a lot clearer.
It's like an actual story.
There's enough explained where you don't need to know a lot of occult stuff to really follow it.
Yeah, exactly. And all the occult stuff in the other one, it was gobbledygook. It's nice to see him like actually put it all together.
It's a little more coherent in this one.
Because he even said, like Anno even said he's just like, I picked out a bunch of shit that like from other religions that look cool. Yeah. Like it was purely an aesthetic.
Yep.
Now it actually means something. You know what I mean? He like sussed it all out.
Yeah, I think he really
and it
did.
Makes sense in the story.
Whoever helped him, put it together. Like it's definitely a lot better in that regard.
Yeah, so it's just nice to see a really cool idea get like, you know, actually done correctly. And I'm excited for the last one.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that one again. These are just entertaining. Like I could finish the third one next week and start them all over again, and I wouldn't be bored, right? Like,
yeah, it's just really good.
They're really good. They're pretty well paced. This is probably the worst paced one. I was a little scared to watch it again because I thought it would be boring. It wasn't. The middle part.
I mean, everything mattered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the middle part with Kaoru gets a little slow, but I mean, it's
the piano,
tiniest bit.
the piano playing,
the piano stuff. But honestly, they reveal enough stuff in there, like when Kaoru takes him down to the bottom to show him what the hell happened with the pseudo third impact, or apparently actually third impact.
Yep.
And then when the old man explains stuff to him, like, you get enough, right? You get enough.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know. I rather enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked to watch the next one. So next week we'll have that. Oh, we're definitely gonna hammer into that Junji Ito stuff. I cannot wait.
Oh yeah. We'll probably finish that whole thing. That'll probably be our second big topic for next week for sure.
Word up. Anyway, as usual, have a fantastic week. Don't trust the government. NFTs are a scam. We can catch you next time.
Peace.
Well, that's all for today, everyone. We'd like to thank all of you for tuning into another episode of the Gaijin Animation Appreciation Hour. Please remember to like and subscribe, and may your entertainment be always, well, entertaining.